Thank you, Grand Round Singers, to starting us off today with this event. It's good to see all of you people. Thank you for coming out to the dedication of the First Fish Herons, which are the monuments that are in front of you. My name is David Harrelson. I'm the Cultural Resources Department Manager for the Grand Round Tribe, and myself and Scott Stoffer from the City of Milwaukie are going to be your MCs today. And we're going to have a few speakers, and we're just going to talk about this project and what it means. So I was asked to share the story of how First Fish Herons came to be. It first started in 2020 when there was a call, the Portland Monuments and Memorials Committee, they made a call and they asked, what would a monument look like if it represented you? If it represented something different than how monuments are treated today. And we were in the middle of the pandemic, right? 2020, the pandemic had started, and many of us weren't spending as much time in our offices, but we were still trying to find ways to connect. And a group of us at the tribe, we said, you know, if the tribe doesn't submit any ideas, there probably won't be any indigenous voice, any tribal people's ideas that come forward. And so a group of us got together and we met over Zoom, and we started to share ideas of, well, what would it look like for indigenous identity and ideas to be represented in monuments? And there was a few things that we felt like we needed. We needed something that would represent a practice. It wasn't just about honoring an event or a person, but that it created community. It brought people together. It did greater work on behalf of us as people in place, not just tribal people, but all the people that live within our homelands as tribal people. And so one of those ideas that came forward, the kind of the leading preeminent idea, the 5 ideas we submitted to that proposal, was First Fish Herons. And it was selected to be featured in an exhibit called Prototypes that was downtown Portland. And in that, it gained even more traction, and there were some interviews from Oregon Humanities and others that talked about it. And parallel to that, for about 5 years prior to that, the City of Milwaukie had been reaching out to the tribe and saying, hey, we're redeveloping our waterfront, and we really want to engage with the tribe, and do you have any ideas, and what type of stuff could exist there? And we're like, oh, native plants, and it's really, important to us to talk about the history of the place, but we didn't really have anything concrete. And then suddenly it dawned on us when we were doing this project and it was getting so much traction that the best place for First Fish Herons to be would be the Milwaukie Bay waterfront. So what is First Fish Herons? Well, the Clackamas people, the indigenous people of this place, have a practice around the first fish to swim up the river. And what happens is you carve herons and you place them down by the river to watch for those fish. And when the first fish comes up the river and it's caught, all fishing stops for 5 days. And that fish is brought in ceremony for all the people to cook the fish together, to share in cultural customs, to prepare the fish, to eat the fish together, and then the bones are returned to the river. And that's a part of how we respect and honor salmon so that they keep returning to this place. And so we said, well, this is an interesting idea, but in 2020, in that world, how can we make that a public art? Can we do this where we have herons as sculptures and we place them down by the river while the fish are in the river, right? Really thinking about that spring fish run, because the spring fish run, the spring Chinook salmon, is one of the most significant fish runs on the Willamette River in the Willamette system. And so for us, that's what we wanted to celebrate. That's what we wanted to do. And we imagined this idea that each year we would provide a stipend and commission 3 different artists to make sculptures of herons where they could be placed on the waterfront. And this first year we commissioned 3 artists, 3 tribal member artists, so that we have these just in case we ever need to put one up if one doesn't get done in future years. So we'll be keeping these 3 sculptures that you see before us by Greg Archuleta, by Bobby Mercier and Travis Stewart. But in future years, we'll be making invitations to artists, not only tribal members, but non-tribal members as well, so that they can engage in this cultural practice of making herons and placing them down by the river. during the time of the year when the fish aren't in the river, there won't be any sculptures on these plinths. And it's to remind people when there's fish in the river. Now, it's pretty helpful with all these fishermen that are out there, right? All of you who know that, suddenly there's a lot more boats down here when there's fish in the river. But we really like the idea of including these monuments to remind people of this connection and this obligation that we have to salmon. So that's a little bit about First Fish Herons. Really, City of Milwaukie, the Arts Committee, the tribe, and our art program. We've had a lot of help along the way in establishing our art program from the Miller Foundation, from Oregon Community Foundation, from Meyer Memorial Trust. Those have all been really instrumental in establishing our art program and making things like this possible. Also, the Parks and Rec District, right along the way in different journeys and times and early conversations. It's just been immensely helpful. Another connection that some of you may be making is that not only have you walked around here and seen herons all the time, because it's great heron habitat, but a number of years ago there was a heron mural that was painted on the side of the post office here in downtown Milwaukie, and that was intentional. The city had reached out and asked us and said, hey, if we were going to do a mural, what should we do it of? And we said, oh, you should do a heron because we really want to do this heron project. And so the next thing you know, you have that connection. And there's stickers up here on the table with cookies and coffee. Definitely please feel free to help yourself to those. There's great water bottle stickers of that heron mural over here. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my co-MC, Scott. If Scott could come up. Come on up, Scott.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon and welcome to Milwaukie. My name is Scott Stauffer and I am the City Recorder and Administrative Services Director for the City of Milwaukie. And I just got to say on a very personal note, it's a complete pleasure and joy for me to be here with you all today, to have the opportunity for the last 6 years to work with David and Mac and the Confederated Tribes, the Grand Ronde. This is a special and big day for Milwaukie. This is important. This is an important step in a relationship with the Grand Ronde that Milwaukie has been very intentional in nurturing and supporting, and we very much look forward to the future. So as we begin, I want to make sure we acknowledge all the elected officials and the folks who've supported and made this happen. All of our current Milwaukie City Councilors, can you raise your hand or stand up and give a wave? We've got the mayor over here, we've got some councilors over there, Councilor Stavenger's over there. I know we've got at least one former city councilor, Kathy. Any former Milwaukie City councilors, give a wave, stand up. Oh, over here. Thank you, Kathy. Any Clackamas County commissioners with us? Any county commissioners? I don't see any commissioners today. Metro council members? Any from Metro? And then any state legislators? Do we have Representative Gamba or Senator Taylor here with us today? No? Okay. Well, I call those and current and former city managers and city staff. Any former city staff here with us today? Down here. Okay, thank you. It's important to call those folks out because this, as has been said, has been a 6+ year project, and we go through different election cycles and we have different leaders. But that's an important telling of just how sustained the support in this community is, that it crosses any kind of political lines or administrative lines. This is something Milwaukie supports grandly, and so I just wanted to acknowledge and appreciate staff, council, elected officials here for that. To tell the administrative side of the story from the city's perspective, this for a lot of us began in 2021 when David and the tribes approached the community with this First Fish Herons concept. Milwaukie then, as it does today, eagerly embraced the project as it was embraced and initially presented to the city's Arts Committee and to the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District's District Advisory Committee. Both those committees and the governing bodies above them, the City Council and the NCPDR Board, gave full support of this project in 2021 and have continued and sustained that support since. So thank you to those groups for continuing that leadership and that support. In 2022, the City Council directed staff to begin negotiating an intergovernmental agreement with the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, work that began right away and took 2 years to complete, which, if you know anything about government, 2 years for an IGA is like light speed. So thank you, David, for making that work real quick. In that time period, since 2021, the city has visited Grand Ronde several times to meet with tribal council and staff, and we visited the wonderful Chachaloo Museum. Each time, city council and staff come back feeling grateful for the work the tribe does for their community and the region, and we are just so excited and fortunate to get the opportunity to work with them here in Milwaukie too. In October 2024, that IGA, which I believe is the City of Milwaukee's first intergovernmental agreement with a sovereign nation, was approved by both the city and the tribal councils. And the execution of the public exhibition of art for First Fish Herons seasonal art at Milwaukie Bay Park, there's the official title for you, was signed. And 18 months after that signature, we stand here on the banks of the Willamette and dedicate these First Fish artworks. We have a number of speakers today, and we'll just move on to our next step, and we'll get to hear from David again and the artists.
Yeah, if I could call up the artists for the pieces, it sounds like there might be a nomination of our elder, Greg Archuleta, might speak on behalf of all of the three artists. We have Greg Archuleta here with us and Bobby Mercier, two of our three artists, and I'll turn it over to Greg.
Lahayam Kanaway Tilakam, like a miss like Kaba Sluice Tum Tum, like a miss like your car, Kabam Stika. Sluice and Psycho miss like your car, Kaba East Kaba Uk Wimas. So I just first wanted to welcome you in our tribal language, Chinukwawa, that we speak today, and say just happy to be here with everybody today, and it's always nice to be here along the river Wimas, the Willamette, as you know it today. And my name is Greg Archuleta. I'm a member of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde. And my families include the Clackamas Chinookan people. I'm a direct descendant of John Wachino, who signed a treaty on behalf of the Clackamas people, the Willamette Valley Treaty of 1855, known as the Treaty with the Kalapuya, etc. And that's one side of my family. On the other side of my family, I'm also a direct descendant of Oregon City John Tai, our chief, who signed the treaty on behalf of the Willamette Tumwaters on the westland side of the river. And so in my family background, strong connections to here along the Willamette River and up the Columbia River to the Cascade Rapids, where Tomaquin, one of our grandfathers, was also chief there, and we had the fishing places at the Cascade Rapids and here at Oregon City. And so it's great to be here today at this event. The first fish ceremony is something that we've done annually now with the tribe, and it's really important to kind of kick off the fishing season. So the herons are placed out. In the old stories, there'd be a foot race with the youth up the hill on Oregon City there. And the youth that won that race then would be the ones that would place those five cranes there, the herons out, the carved ones. And then they're kept out until that first fish is caught. And then there's a ceremony for that fish, and where it's shared with the community, and everything is eaten of that one fish as it's shared with everybody. And then those bones are important to return to the river, and so that ensures the continued return of those of the fish to the river. And so that's kind of really the purpose of the ceremony. And then we hold that every year now here at Tumwater, and then sometimes we have the ceremonial part in Grand Ronde. A heron here is the one that watches for those first fish, and heron is important in our old stories. Is known as a pretty good character in helping the people in many different ways, and so it's really important, and really grateful to be here today. And I really don't want to speak for Bobby, so I'm going to let him speak. So, hayamasi, everybody.
Ta-da. There it is. Na, ik slagaim kan nooit slagste. Ik ook mo close dan mijn zeigen pas mislet je kwa. Kago ya wala en zeike chago kabuk walamp sakt. Ich naike chupi ja chago kaba slakam is tulchem wacht. Be ook mo close dan mijn neige pas mislet je kwa. Be munk mislet dikte je kwa. Ook julke tiat wat kalakala. You guys got that? Oh, you guys don't speak our language, but you live here, eh? Oh, okay. I'm just very thankful to be able to put something back in place that was once removed. You know, my grandfather also comes from the village just up the river here on my dad's side, and so to be able to put something back here on behalf of our family is something special to us. Just recognizing the relationship that we have to the heron. We call him Yulkatiatwitkalakala. That's the long-legged bird. And that the work that he does for us, to call the salmon up the river and to watch for the fish, so that when it's time to fish, we're out here at the right time. I'm one of the fishermen for the tribe, so I'm one of the guys you see up here standing on the scaffold. So very honored to be able to put something back in place. So thank you, guys.
Could you two guys both stand by your post at some point?
Yeah, I think when they're all done, they'll take a bunch of pictures.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you to all three of the artists and to the two who spoke. Your work will live with a very visual presentation for the next few months and in future years. Scott Stauffer again, real quick, just to offer a few more city remarks before we move on to the next speakers. I know I thanked folks when I spoke a few minutes ago, but I also want to call out specific city colleagues who made this happen. Former City Manager Ann Ober, current City Manager Emma Sagor, Assistant City Manager Joseph Brilio, wherever Joseph is, former Assistant City Manager Kelly Brooks, my staff colleagues who were integral to this work, Adam Moore, Gabriela Santoyo Gutierrez, Jordan Imla, Camilo Alvarez Tuta, Jennifer Garbely, Brent Husher, Jason Wax, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a whole bunch of other people that are here with us and have been supporting this project. I know I called it out before, but we could not be here without the support of our partner for parks in the region, North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District. When this was proposed to the community, they very much said yes with us, and we couldn't have appreciated that more. To the city leadership, the elected officials, former Mayor Mark Gamba was a part of the council at the time who said yes, and current Mayor Beatty we'll hear from in a second. Thank you to both the city and tribal councils for making this happen. I'd like to thank the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, who are the inheritors of the Clackamas people's legacy, as you've heard from the artist and from David. The Clackamas people who first called this land home, this river their home. We thank their artists, their descendants, and we thank you for these first three artworks. A couple of quick notes before I invite the mayor to speak. If you've parked in the boat parking, you're fine. We have it on very good authority that no one's going to be issuing citations right now, but you may want to linger after we're done. So with that, I will say thank you to David, seriously, for the ups and downs and the project of this. And it's my pleasure to introduce Milwaukee's Mayor, Lisa Beatty.
This has to come down a little bit. Okay. It's so nice to finally have this day arrive and to have it be such a nice day. We could not have asked for better. It was in 2017 or 2018 when the City Council first went to the Chichalu Museum to meet with tribal leaders and staff about potential areas where we could work together. And just as an aside, if you have not been to the Chichalu Museum on the Grand Ronde property, Grand Ronde Center off of Highway 18, I definitely encourage people to add an hour to your next beach trip or wine country trip and stop there and visit the Chichalu Museum. It's really a lovely place. As you heard from Scott and David, this has been in discussion since 2021. And the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde are also a crucial partner in another big project, just a few hundred feet from where we stand, the efforts to remove the dam and free Kellogg Creek to create 17 miles of passage for fish and lamprey through our downtown and neighborhoods up to Mount Scott and beyond. I hope we will have many more chances to gather for events like this, including groundbreaking for that project in a couple of years. Speaking of 2017, I did just want to give unfortunately they're not here today, but I did want to give a special shout out to former Mayor Gamba and former Councilor Angel Falconer, because they really initiated these conversations first for the council back in 2017. Thanks to the artists that we heard from, and thanks both for their remarks as well as for this sharing their amazing talents with our community. This spot on the river, Milwaukie Bay, is framed by Johnson Creek entering at the north end, Kellogg Creek entering at the south end, Elk Rock Island, and the Elk Rock Cliff across the river. Fish biologists tell us that this is a crucial off-channel resting and feeding area for migrating salmon, both adults swimming back upstream as well as juveniles trying to make their way to the Pacific. The work going on here by both the Johnson Creek and North Clackamas Watersheds Council and new habitat restoration and protection efforts on Elk Rock Island are important to the health of the Willamette. We do see herons here, and we hope that continues. So these new artworks are also emblematic of our collective work for a healthier Willamette. 7 years ago this month, plans were finalized by the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District for a more vibrant community park on the land where many of you are standing. This lawn was installed in 2015 and was intended just to be a placeholder until a park was designed and built. And that design was approved, again, 7 years ago this month, April 2019, and it calls for a grassy amphitheater, a nature play area, a water feature, a picnic area, bathrooms, and a lot more trees. The community was really excited about that project and remains very excited about that project. Unfortunately, that plan has been held up for the last 5 years by the Clackamas County Commissioners, but we have been in negotiations for the past 16 months to get the project moving, and I am hopeful that we will reach agreement soon. Milwaukie Bay Park is already the gateway to Clackamas County for people coming from the north and can be a real regional amenity that we can all enjoy and be proud of. So let's build Milwaukie Bay Park so that more people are here to enjoy these amazing artworks. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Secretary of the Tribal Council, John George, who is a direct descendant of a 19th century tribal chief, Solomon Riggs, and has served on the Tribal Council since 2012. Join me in welcoming Councilman George.
All right. Okay. Well, first of all, if they knew my nickname from Grand Ronde, they oh, okay. I'm a little taller, okay? So, they wouldn't have chose me to be the last speaker because now I have the rest of the day to talk. So too, but my nickname at Grand Ronde is Chief Longwind, and so it was like, and I've already got some of my friends out there going like this already. It's a two, but and they were also wise to also give me talking points to keep me on track, too. But so to introduce myself is Shlu Shlokson, Nigatilicum P. Shiksh, John George Nikanim, and the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Tribal Secretary, and Nigatumtum Shlushuksan. Good afternoon, family and friends. My name is John George, too, and today my heart is good. And I really want to appreciate and an honor to be able to speak here, and I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce some of my fellow councilwomen here, to Ms. Kathleen George also, who is here today too as a tribal official also, and we really appreciate her coming today. And of course, our Grand Ronde singers too. How proud I am of them. And so too, from that to hear our beautiful songs. And so too, and a lot of good stuff was spoken today about that and the things. And so, but I love the idea that I can stand here today to also tell you about our Clackamas people, the people here of this place. Because the two and our ancestors were here before any settlement. Our villages around here, around Willamette Falls, our Clowley-Walla, our Kajikshik people in the villages here from that. And I think the importance too really is to, as you can see how gifted our tribal artists are too, for here too, and to be so honored that we even now, as we build buildings in Grand Ronde and on our Grand Ronde campus and stuff too, that artwork is included in the designs and the budgets for our buildings, and we have artwork and statue posts and stuff too around our campus to represent who we are and who we are as people. So too, because because as we know of other, when you go more northern and stuff too, you get the Salish designs and you get totem poles. So here we have posts that mark who we are as people and to talk of the families, and it's in our Lower Columbia River design, which these herons are designed after, and it's its own art in its own region too of the Lower Columbia River, and so. Today, to thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for this and this opportunity for that, and the people here from this. And so you also talked about, which we were excited to hear, the removal of the Kellogg Dam too, that from that. And so, and it's like that we were talking about as we design our things. We purchased the former Blue Heron site there in Oregon City, and which is now officially called Tumwater Village. Tumwater is the name of the falls that we have, and our redevelopment of that property, and as you talked about, the salmonoids and stuff too, for the rest for the young ones to do it. We're also going to incorporate that too and add inlets on our property for resting of the baby salmon and the baby eels and stuff too, or skockwal is our name for them, and. So that's an opportunity too, is like when we look at that about how we can naturally design our river and to make our river healthier, so too for the salmon, because as you've heard how important salmon are to our people, and it sustained our ancestors when they lived here, and the skockwal from there because of such a winter food, and that people from all over, as far as Canada to from over the mountain and all that, all came to it to actually Greg's relative, who was the chiefs there too, that people and other tribes would come and ask permission to gather and fish at the falls, so too, as what we call as our ancient protocol. And so that they would either bring gifts or they would leave a percentage of their take from the Willamette Falls to thank the Clackamas people for granting permission to also fish and gather there. Today, I know we wish that ancient protocol would be followed by all people too and other tribes too, but as some of that is hopefully someday will be. And so our other part is to know is that the people that we are here of the 1855 Willamette Valley Treaty, as Greg was talking about, how his great-grandfathers were signers of that treaty, but it removed us from this area and removed us here about an hour and a half away here to the Grand Ronde Reservation, and stuff that was formed in 1857 and oversaw by like General Phil Sheridan and stuff in the Army, that oversaw, and they weren't allowed. Our people were not allowed to come back to the falls, which was their sustainable food resource from there, and so they had to eventually have to have passes to be able to leave the reservation to come here. And so today, I stand today honored before you, and to be able to speak about that our people have returned to the falls. And so upon that purchase of that in our which we are creating a new village there for our people, and for that, and to know that the things and the economics and the things that we will do for the area and the tourism that we will do for the area benefits all as a too. And so I just really want to take this opportunity to thank of you all for here. Thank you to the City of Milwaukie, and so too, and their leadership, and meeting with our leadership and our people to create such a beautiful monument here today for the City of Milwaukie. And Kathleen, I didn't know if you wanted to come and say any words or anything too. I just want to do it because just to honor her too for taking the time out today too to come and witness this special occasion that we have today. And thank you all for coming too, because there's quite a thing. And I thought our tribal members are here also too, and so it's good to see them and to honor our artists also. And from this point, I think okay, before everybody starts going like this, yeah, too. So I think I can just raise my hands and say hi, Umasi, to you all, and I do. So yeah, thank you all. Okay. And if Tynan, if you could come up, we have a gift for the mayor and Scott too for that. Tynan.
Oh, good. Invite the mayor and Scott up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Mayor Beatty too, and Scott. What you say? Thank you. Let me get the pink one.
Come over on the side with Scott. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anybody else you want to give?
No, that's good. And if we could get singers to join us up here at the front again, we're going to close with a song. The song that we're going to sing is our Blue Heron song. Let me pass that off to the mayor. And we're just really grateful for all of you coming out. So there might be some little information that I asked Bobby to share about the song, so you have a little bit more understanding about it. But after that, that's the event. Definitely get a chance to take pictures in front of the herons, and we hope to see you back here next year in March, when next year we'll be installing another set of herons. Thank you.
This song is shared throughout the Northwest here. It comes from one of our relatives off of Vancouver Island. And it talks about the heron being walking this land, and sometimes we know that his long legs get stuck in the mud, and he has to do a little shuffle, a little dance to get unstuck out of the mud. And so this song talks about him walking our land and getting stuck in the mud and getting unstuck. So this is the Blue Heron song. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Is this center one yours?
Yeah, that's
Okay, that's great.
Really appreciate it.